Dear viewers, wherever you are, hello and welcome to this new episode of your program, Love Spectra. Self-confidence is definitely an essential and fundamental ingredient for any success recipe. It is also very important to achieve your goals, whether they are in your personal, professional, or romantic life. But what is self-confidence exactly? And where's the fine line, or where's the threshold that between self-confidence and arrogance? How do we know that we are overestimating ourselves or underestimating ourselves? How can we know that people around us are giving us extra support beyond our real abilities, or if they're underestimating us and they're oppressing us? To shed more light on self-confidence, I'm really delighted to be accompanied today by Mr. Kareem Bandali, who is a personal life coach. Mr. Kareem, hello and welcome to the program.
Hi, Mohammed. How are you? Thank you
Fine.
for inviting me.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you. And to start off, what is self-confidence? How can we define self-confidence in plain and simple English?
Well, as you know, as you said, I'm a life coach. So what I've noticed that out of all the people that I coached, uh, a lot of people, they ask me to have more confidence. And usually it's because they are afraid of trying something new. And they're not sure that they are scared. They are scared to try something new and they need help. So they come to see me and they say, how can you give me more confidence? Right? So that's the first problem. But what I have learned is that in fact, there are four stages to confidence. Okay. And that feeling of confidence, to have it or not to have it, it's often linked with the competence.
Okay.
Right? So the two are very much linked. So if you are okay with that, I just want to explain to you the different stage. Is that okay?
Absolutely. Just before you start, I just want to rephrase what you said, and please correct me if I'm wrong, just to
Yeah.
make sure that we're in the same page here. So we're talking about competence, how competent you are, how
Yeah.
able, how capable you are of doing something,
Yes.
and confidence. So they usually go hand in hand, or there's some kind of relationship between them.
Yes. Exactly. So the first stage is, you have low confidence and you have low competence, right? And this is a place where you are feeling that you can't do anything and you don't know anything. And in fact, when I have clients that tells me that, then I tell them this is a very good place to be, because this is a learning place. Meaning that if you are open to learn, well, this is the best place, because you don't know anything, you are not have any assumptions about what you know, you're not faking it, you just don't know, because we don't know what we don't know. So this is the place where you can be a person that can be coachable. You can learn, and more you're going to increase your competence. Well, along with that, your confidence is going to go up. So that's the first stage. The second stage is having a low confidence, but a high competence. And this is where most of my clients are. Is like, we have the competence, but we lack the confidence. And this is where I have to help, because it's a problem in the sense of you know something, you are capable. And I'll just take an example. Let's say you are a person that can, you know your subject, whatever, in whatever matter it is, and you have to give a speech. Mm-hmm. But you are scared of public speaking. You're not feeling confident that you will be able to explain, okay, right? So at that point, well, you need my help or some tips that I'm going to give you later on that will boost your confidence.
And just a little comment here, because I think just like that, a lot of our viewers might relate to what you're just saying here. It's common that you see people who are very competent, they have all the capabilities, but when they are asked to face other people or share it with other people, they start having butterflies and they start having goosebumps.
Yeah.
So it's being so scared of facing the public with it. And there is the theory of the Dunning and Kruger, these two psychologists who talked and said about the Dunning Kruger effect. That's what they called it. And they said that competence and confidence are usually inversely and not directly proportional. So do you agree to this? Do you think that it's usually the more competent you are, the less confident, or not necessarily?
Well, what I would tell you is that, and I might be able to answer you with my third stage, which is somebody who's high confidence and high competence. This is the ideal place. This is where we want to be, right? And to answer your question, and I hope I'm answering you, this is the place where it's one is feeding the other one and vice versa. So when you have high confidence, right, then you are not scared to try something new. And then when you try that something new, you learn it, you become competent about it. And because you are competent about it, well, you have more confidence. And so they feed each other. It's a very positive, I would say, loop, because they are feeding each other. So I believe that it's not that one is coming before the other one. It's really they're feeding each other.
Okay, so there is this link. So it's like the chicken or the egg. So one would give to the other, and so here you talked about the four different kinds of people.
But there is one more.
Exactly. Yeah.
There is one more. And this is the one that's when you have high confidence, but low competence. Now, this is where people, they believe that you fake it until you make it. And this is where you were talking in the beginning about arrogance. Mm-hmm. So people that have a high, high level of confidence, but no competence, well, they're going to talk to you about so many things they are doing and they're not really doing. And they become arrogant. But psychologically speaking, there is always a part of us that's unconscious, that's telling that person, we're not like that. We are not what you're saying. Mm-hmm. And it's unconscious, right? So what is happening is that you have an internal conflict inside.
So is it a form of like defense mechanism? Like it's, I'm trying to shield myself with this, a big halo I'm putting on myself to because I know I'm very vulnerable. I'm very fragile.
Yeah,
If anyone would just dare to touch me, they'll crack me. So I need
exactly.
iron shield to protect
Yeah,
my.
definitely. And I will fake it. I
Mhm.
will just fake it so people will believe. But this is very dangerous because uh, these kind of people can give advice to other people and making it look like they know it all. And this is a stage where you can't learn anything because exactly you know it all. And there is no place for growth. In order for you to grow, you have to accept that you don't know what you don't know and you want to learn.
And so, what is my litmus paper? Like, how can I, or my thermometer, how can I really know who I am? Because usually the biggest problem is, I can know about these four stages, but where do I belong? And if I think I belong in stage one, two, three, or four, is this really the truth, or am I just tricking myself or fooling myself?
Well, the first thing is that you have to be honest with yourself, right? And you have to check in within yourself, right? And ask and see at which stage am I? And it's only you and yourself. So you have to be honest with yourself in whatever situation you are. I'll take an example here of mine, okay? Today, for instance, okay? Today, for me, I'm not used to have an interview like that, okay? So uh, my competence, my competence is there because I know I have the knowledge about coaching people. But my confidence before I came online with you was low because I've never done it.
Okay.
So I prepared myself. I prepared myself, and if you're okay with that, I'm just going to share the technique that I use on myself and
Please.
that anybody can use, right? So the first thing is that 15 minutes before, I relax my body and my mind.
Hmm.
So that's the first step to do. The second step is, we always have an internal talk. So instead of telling myself, oh my God, it's going to be so stressful, it's the first time I'm doing that. No, I had a very confident self talk. Everything's going to be okay because I know my stuff, right? I'm just going to answer the questions. I know exactly what I'm going to say. So that was my internal talk. The third thing that one should do is remember situations where in the past we have been confident, because I wasn't confident today before the interview, but I have lived other experiences where I was confident. So just remember the feeling of being confident in another situation. The other thing you can do also, it's model someone that that you see that person as confident. I would say, I would look at you, Mohammed, and I would say, I've seen your videos, and wow, he's so confident when he's talking. The way he talks, the way he's sitting, the way. So I will remember all this and say, okay, he can do it. I can do it too. Okay. And then also it's anticipate success. Anticipate that you're going to be fine, right? Because when we think about, oh my God, if I do a mistake, if I say something wrong, if you focus on the mistakes, well, chances are that you're going to make the mistakes. But if you focus on the success, less chances and more chances that it's going to be successful. And the last point is this is where I think, I mean, some people can do it, but this is where we need a coach. We have some limiting beliefs that we've built throughout our lives. And it's with a coach, it's really, we can change these limiting beliefs and change them to be empowering beliefs.
So here he said that if I would foresee my success, I will succeed. And one of the interesting experiments is that they, like one basketball team, had a problem with free throw shooting.
Okay.
This is a real experiment that they did.
Mm-hmm.
So they divided them into 3 groups. One group did nothing at all. The second group came every day just to practice free throw shooting.
Yeah.
Third group were asked every day, instead of doing that, just to imagine and see themselves, scoring every time they go for a free throw shot. Interestingly enough, after the week was over, the first group that did nothing, there are no results, which is no surprise. The guys who trained themselves really improved. But what was really interesting and intriguing here is that the third group that did not do the physical training, but just foresaw themselves succeed, were equally successful, just like the group that really did it. So do you think that this is always possible, really? Like, how important is foreseeing my success or believing in myself? They say that if usually you cannot give what you don't have. You cannot give confidence if you're not confident. And they always say charity starts at home. So if I want other people to feel confident talking or like listening to me, I must be confident about myself, and I will send these confidence vibes to others. Is this real, for real, or is this just talk or just theory?
Well, I wouldn't say about giving the confident vibes, but what I can tell you is that our brain doesn't make a difference between reality and whatever we imagine. Right? So in your experiment that you just shared, for the brain, right, imagining doing something and being successful is as good as doing it really for the brain, right? So that's why, it's really real. Now, the fact is, and if you don't mind, I wrote it down here. What is confident for me? And I think it's gonna it's gonna be an answer for what you just said. Confidence, it's what you get when you feel certain about something. When you feel certain about possessing the quality you value, confidence, self-esteem are automatic.
Okay.
All right. So it's when you know yourself. Okay. And of course, how do I know myself? That's a whole new subject, right? Yep. But when you know yourself, when you know what you value, when you know and you are the quality that you value, right? Well, you become a person that's confident. And automatically your self-esteem is up also.
This is a very common problem for a lot of new immigrants, when they first come to their new adoptive country, and they leave their country of origin. Usually it's a different paradigm, it's a different system, it's a different way of life. And everything is new, so usually they would resort to these ethnic silos or ethnic ghettos. They would resort to people from the same, cultural background. And many of them find these meetings to really drain them psychologically, because they start losing self-confidence in some time, or other times they get a false self-confidence boost. So one group would tell them, "Oh, why did you come here to this country? There's no hope. They hate new immigrants. They're so racist. There's no way you can succeed. You're too old. You came at a very old age, or you came after the good old days." That's one group might tell them that. The other group might tell them, "Oh, that's a piece of cake, man. You're like, you don't. No, no, no. Who told you you need to study or do anything? No, what you have is more than enough. Is absolutely more than enough." So again, like, is there a magic way uh,
Mhm.
or a magic, revealer that can detect to me if these guys are just, draining me for nothing, or these guys are just, blowing me with air? Is there a way I can tell?
Well, first of all, you have to remember why, speaking about immigrant, you have to remember why you came here, right? And keep that in mind. What was your objective? What were you looking for by coming here? Because I believe that what you're looking for and you focus on that, that's what's going to happen and that's going to come in front of you. So if you are not clear about what you want, well, you're going to go this way, you're going to go this way, because some people will say this thing, they're going to say this thing. So you're not going to be straight to where you want to be. So first thing is to be clear why you are here and what you want to accomplish. And anybody, any group that support your objective, this is where you have to listen. If they don't support your idea, well, you can always listen, because there is always something to learn. Whatever they say, okay, now what can I use out of this that's going to help my objective? Because there will always be people that's going to put you down. And we talked about, there are some people that are going to be in the fourth stage saying that, I know it all, and they know how to talk, but they don't know nothing. And you can be influenced by them, which is not right. And it's not their fault. You have to be certain about what you want and take information from everywhere and surround, they always say, surround yourself with people that are positive for you to reach your goal.
So have positive people. So not people who would drain my energy, and
No.
again, not people who would just turbo boost my confidence for nothing. So not listen to empty talk. Now, again, how can I detect? Because I think this is very important to how can I detect, like, those who always brag and like bombastic personalities who just come and try to sell you an idea, or like promote themselves? How can I detect those people, those peacocks? How can I know that? Oh, here is a peacock. How can I know that?
Ask questions. you know Ask questions. Don't just listen and say, oh my god, this person is here, let's say he's in Canada since 30 years, so he knows what he's talking about. No, that's not enough. Ask questions. How do you know? What are the proof? What are the elements that, to confirm what you're saying? So you need to ask questions. And more question you're going to ask, well, you're going to know what kind of answer you're getting. And if it stays vague, well, there is nothing backing up whatever they are saying.
And how important are the different circles? Because, of course, you and I and everyone, we live in different circles. So there is the very inner circle, which is the very intimate relations, like, my nuclear family, my spouse, or my, like my partner, my children and whatnot, parents. And then there's the outer family, the extended family, and then there's the outer and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Which one would be more credible, or would give me a more valid opinion about where do I stand? So I'm trying to find out if I'm really competent enough for my level of confidence. Or maybe I'm too competent, but I'm very, I need to boost my confidence. Which circle would be the best one? Would it be a circle that is, sort of romantically connected to me? They have this, this compassion towards me, or should it be a very neutral professional circle?
Well, I would say that the circle doesn't really matter, in the sense of you can't have control on other people. You can't the people, they're going to be the way they are. And like when we're talking about arrogant people, you can have arrogant people in your circle. With family, you can have arrogant people in your work. You can have arrogant people in the community. You can have everywhere. That's not going to give you the right information for what we're looking for. So it comes back to you, and it's about you, because the only person you can change, it's you. So you have to be honest with you and find out who you are, what you want, and what you want to accomplish. And then you can be in any circle. And if you are true to your values and you have this quality, as I was saying earlier, then you know what? You can be in any circle and you will find the right information for you. I know there is no magic thing that you can do, a wand, and oh, I know this one. Oh, it didn't turn red. All the others are green. This one is red. He's not good for me. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. It's really an internal work that you have to do, and you have to be honest with yourself. That's what I think.
Last but never least, is there a final prescription you'd like to give to our viewers with regards to self-confidence?
Well, I would say that check in with yourself. If in a particular situation, because as I said earlier, you can be confident in a situation at home, and in a situation at work you're not confident, right? So it really depends. So whatever situation you feel that you're not confident, just check with yourself and ask yourself, how come I'm feeling like that here? Am I missing some knowledge, maybe? Meaning, am I missing some competence that I need to learn more so I will feel confident? Okay. Do I have like limiting belief because I always believe that I'm going to fail? Well, then seek help to change that belief within yourself.
At the end of this interview, I really have to thank you very much for being with us today, and really looking forward to having you time and again to talk about extremely useful topics for our dear viewers. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Well, thank you for inviting me, and I hope it's going to help your viewers.
Absolutely. Thank you very much again for being with us.
Thank you, Mohammed.
You're most welcome. It's a pleasure having you. And dear viewers, if we were to recap here, self-confidence, like we said at the beginning, is essential and fundamental for your growth, to grow as a successful individual and for your stability as a human being, whether it's the personal, the professional, or the romantic area we're talking about. But again, just like our guest said today, you have to be honest with yourself and self-checking. Self-checking is very, very important. And self-checking is a daily, homework. It's something that you have to do on daily basis. So it's not enough that so last time I checked was 100 years ago or or like a couple of months ago. No, that's not good enough. You need to continuously check because we might progress by time and we might regress as well. So maybe I was really competent a year ago, but I'm no longer competent now. There might have been new changes in the program or in the field, or maybe I lost my touch because I'm not experiencing it anymore. So I need to check with myself for real. Again, if I get my checklist and it's all check, 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 and it's all well, then the problem is not in my competence. It's in the way I'm belittling myself. And that's not the way to go. It's about time that I start believing in myself and foreseeing the success. And just like we heard today, there are several steps. Foresee the success. You're successful in other areas, so you can be successful in this one too. Dear viewers, until we meet again, I hope that you all have very pleasant times. Please take good care. Thank you very much.